I'm a full-time student, full-time designer, full-time nonprofit director, and a part-time sleeper. I grew up in the heart of San Francisco. Neither of my parents finished high school or could read very well. The summer after senior year, my mom wanted to go back to her grade school and donate a bunch of books. And they're really, really happy about getting these books. It's just kind of like the culture I grew up with. It just motivated me to kind of, I guess, be more like them. The world's single largest problem was that people aren't getting fed. If something is possible, why can't you do it? There's nothing really stopping you. I flew into Kenya. For only 2 weeks, I kind of felt the responsibility that I had to at least try. So I saw that change could be made. It motivated me. I see other people starting businesses. Why can't I do that? Global Ties is my nonprofit that sells these bracelets and donates all the profits to charity. And each bracelet feeds about 24 people. It felt kind of like home before I even came here, which is why I really decided to move so far away from home, and I always miss home, but I still love it here so much. When I came to visit, they said anything that you need, we have here. If you need tutoring, we have that here. If you want to learn something new, we have that here, as well as this beautiful campus. UCLA really offered me all the resources that I felt I needed to succeed. I wanted to just create something that was different, new, and would benefit me as well as others. It's this wallet that you don't have to ever take your card out, you would just swipe it. And I launched it on Kickstarter. And I want to tell you about my wallet. It got $64,000 in funding. I had generated about $150,000 about 6 months in. A year ago, if I told myself you're going to pay for school and make $250,000, I'd be like, you're insane. But now I can see that it's possible. Whatever I want to do is possible.
I wouldn't say that I knew that I wanted to be a costume designer at 6 or 7. I knew that I loved history and stories. I never saw a difference in history, that I never saw a division between them and us. They were just wearing different clothes. My mother knew that I was a completely different person the first time I walked to the window with 2 pieces of clothes and said, "Does this match?" I was just different. My parents were not supportive of what I felt was my calling. Costume design continued to be a conundrum for my parents until my Oscar nomination. Well, I designed a lot of very, very successful films. Every day, I'm creating something and building. I'm a builder. Creating with David C. Copley this first ever Center for Costume Design really creates a magnetic north for my field. Growing up with my grandfather and understanding that I was just a link in the chain and being the beneficiary of so many fantastic mentors who inspired me and guided me just really helps me connect with my students. I always feel like there's something good to tell them, something that can help them on their own personal journeys. They show up, and it takes me a while to get to know them, and they all bring their unique point of view. And I've never had a student like another student. They're all completely individual who they are. I can't teach them the job. I can just inspire them to learn the job. I'm crazy about my students.
This was a pilot program. It was all fresh and new, and we didn't know what was going to happen. The Ministry of Health would come up in their trucks. They'd take us out to these remote villages, which would be maybe an hour or so away, 2 hours away, but there's nothing. There's no power. We'd hike into Fijian jungle to the spring source, and this was really blazing a trail. and it's really cool.
You still have all the mud from here that can wash into it, but here it's probably just flowing faster because it's a little bit steeper.
He's a smart guy, which I respect. I just learned by example, I suppose. Typhoid has killed a lot of young children out there. Most of their wells are lower than where their livestock and crops are, where they get their drinking water, and everything is the same source. We did quantitative and qualitative assessments. Remote villages, they're gonna start having access to clean water. They're gonna have access to understanding the importance of clean water. That's what I really like about engineering, is it's applied science.
The top from the pizza squad.
If it's open, then it can just go right in. What it really affects are the young children who don't have the immune systems to be able to combat these pathogens. It could change their lives, you know? When you get back and see change in other people's lives, that's as rewarding as someone changing your life. So that's kind of modern mutual symbiosis. And Fiji was really an experience like that. I suppose I came back just purified.
Our PE teacher had a transistor radio, and we were all standing around listening to Al Shepard's Flight. And I just remember in that moment that I just wanted to do that. I guess I was really searching for something to give meaning to my life beyond just a job and making money. I wanted to be a part of just even the beginning steps of our civilization going beyond our planet. At Dana Junior High School, I really wanted to be a page in the Senate. You had to be a boy to do that. And I still remember writing a letter to them to inquire about the program, and I didn't use my first name, and I used just Lee. Lee Tingle, my maiden name. It's just that was something that sounded like it was fun to do, and I didn't see why I shouldn't be able to do it if I wanted to. And did get a letter back from them, and never pursued it just because I couldn't afford to go all the way to D.C. from California, but I was already thinking about wanting to do kind of non-traditional things from way back when. You know, my family was certainly not very well off. When I got to UCLA, I started out in chemistry and realized that I enjoyed science, but then I realized I wanted to have more involvement with people as well, which is what got me interested in going into medicine. We got married on a Tuesday, went on a one-day honeymoon, came back, worked a 24-hour shift in the emergency room, and left on Sunday to go to NASA for a week-long interview process. I actually found out about my flight assignment 2 weeks before I delivered Kristen. And I delivered on a Friday, and Monday I was back at the office.
Mommy's gonna go on space shuttle, and this is our last night home. I love you more than anything in the whole world.
Seconds, Mark. Your go for main engine start. Engine start. 3, 2, 1. Liftoff. The shuttle has cleared the tower.
You just feel like you're one of the luckiest people on the planet.